Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this time of devotion and Bible study. Reading through Genesis, I'm reminded once again what a brilliant book it is. It's one of the greatest epics written in all of human history. However, there is a prominent theme that runs throughout the book and trickles down into the rest of the Old Testament that is concerning. One might say the fall and flood are the worst things about Genesis, but in a sense they are both downstream from the issue I want to discuss here for a few moments. The worst thing about Genesis is the utter lack of a functional family. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are all men of God who accomplished great things. Even Lot is called righteous in the New Testament, 2 Peter 2 and verse 7. However, throughout the book, we see giant episodes of family drama, one after another. Abel was killed. Ham exposed his father's nakedness. Hagar and Ishmael had to be kicked out. Esau made Jacob flee for his life. Joseph was sold into slavery. And those are just the big headlines. All in all, not much we can draw on as a positive example. However, these things were written for our instruction, Romans 15:4, and negative examples do provide plenty of instruction. We can learn a lot about what not to do from these first families of the faith. Number one, husbands abdicated leadership to their wives. Abraham deferred to Sarah, but he wasn't the only one. It started with Adam. And Jacob created a giant mess in his own household by participating in Rachel and Leah's arms race. So, for as many great things as these men did, we can learn from them that men must take the helm to steer their homes as God would see fit. Number two, incompatible spouses were a problem. There's a great debate around whether unequally yoked in 2 Corinthians 6:14 means Christians can only marry other Christians. But Genesis helps us see the issue clearly by real-world examples. Abraham commanded his servant to find a bride for Isaac and made the servant swear that the woman would not come from among the Canaanites. Genesis 24:1-4. Instead, the servant had to travel all the way back to Abraham's homeland to find her. Isaac and Rebekah similarly counseled Jacob to avoid the local women in favor of those of their own people. Genesis 28:1-2. Esau, on the other hand, married Hittite women. This immediately became a point of contention between him and his parents, and eventually led to him taking wives from the Ishmaelite side of the family as an ill-conceived attempt to fix his errors. Marrying outside the faith is one of those discussions that people always want to reduce down to, is it a sin? To get bogged down in that debate misses the obvious point from the scriptures. It's a terrible idea, and there's no wisdom in it. Number three, sexual non-monogamy wrecked homes. Yes, God allowed polygamy in the Old Testament, but as Jesus told us, that was not his plan for man from the beginning, Matthew 19, verses 4-6. For anyone who thinks it's a neutral practice or even a good idea, Genesis disagrees. While polygamy is not as much of an issue today, we can expect similar bad fruits from any deviation from God's standard. Fornication and cohabitation are not mild transgressions for which we can look the other way. Porn addiction or flirtatious extramarital relationships can divide a home just as bad as polygamy. Christian homes must have a fierce dedication to protecting a holy monogamy. Thank you again for joining us to study God's Word. Please join us every Monday morning at 10 a.m. for more Bible study. You're also invited to join us for our assemblies each week. On Sundays, we have Bible classes for all ages at 9:30 and worship at 10:30 and 6. Our worship assemblies are live streamed on YouTube. Our Wednesday Bible study is at 7 p.m. We offer Bible correspondence courses through the Veil and personal face-to-face Bible study. You can contact us through any of the means scrolling across your screen. Have a blessed day.